All local, all the time. Our network flagship station, MyINDY-TV in Indianapolis, says it is transforming the way viewers connect with local programming, offering viewers nearly 77 hours per week of local news and programming, and that's growing. Owner Circle City Broadcasting recently signed a multi-year partnership with the Indianapolis Indians, making a sister station MyINDY-TV 23 the local broadcast home of the Indians. And I sat down this week with DuJuan McCoy, the owner, president, and CEO of Circle City Broadcasting, to learn more about his vision and why he's passionate about being local. Well, DuJuan, you just announced a deal recently with the Indianapolis Indians, substantial 2-year deal, 70 games over those 2 years on MyINDY-TV 23. Again, a substantial commitment, but really part of, it sounds like your vision for Circle City TV.
Yeah, I got my start at WTTV Channel 4, which was the grandfather of local sports. If you recall, they used to own the IU rights, Purdue basketball rights, the IHSA rights. So I was fortunate to have that as my training. So when I had the opportunity to buy Wish TV and WNDY, that's the first thing came to mind. What am I going to do at WNDY? Local sports. So, yeah.
And that broader vision and creating a brand, I think that local brand, because it's not just the Indians, that's a big deal. You've got high school sports with the IHSAA, you've got the Indy 11, as well as others. This is part of content, but also creating a brand?
Yeah, I mean, I want to be seen as a local TV station. I don't want to be seen as a national TV station. We do more hours of local news on Wish TV than any other station in the country. We're doing about 75 hours of local news. And for my sister station, WNDY, whatever local sporting franchises are available, I'm going to try to go after.
Yeah. As you look at local ownership and focus on local around the country in many ways, going away, stations going away from that, whether it's television, radio, certainly newspapers. Your model, your idea, your vision is the opposite of that.
Yeah, so what's going on in the industry is a massive shift to consolidation, okay? And the bigger you get, the more opportunities that you have to scale down and do hubbing, if you will. And my model is not that. I don't want to be a big operator. I'd like to be a locally owned and operated broadcaster. And for me, I call it a flanking opportunity from a marketing standpoint. I like to do what my competition is not doing because that's an audience locally that's being underserved right now. So that's my overall marketing strategy behind Wish and WNDY.
You think the time is right, especially right for that now? There's an appetite for local?
Yeah, I think it's really, really primed right now with the streaming services, the over-the-top services, the fact that you can get entertainment-type programming anywhere at any time. Only thing that you can't get live is local sports and local news, or you can't get streaming local sports and local news. So I think there's a niche and an opening for me here in the Indianapolis market.
As you look at challenges, you obviously see opportunities with the local focus. What are the biggest challenges being a broadcaster in 2020?
So for me, the biggest challenges is going toe-to-toe with the big guys, okay? As you probably know, I'm in a dispute right now with AT&T, DirecTV, and Dish Network. Those guys are tough to deal with, and they traditionally don't like dealing with smaller local companies. And that's my biggest challenge.
Yeah, it's part of the landscape. That's right. Those types of disputes as well.
That's right.
Let's talk a little bit about DuJuan McCoy. Okay. You're a hometown guy, grew up in Indianapolis, Ben Davis High School, Butler University track captain, I believe, the track team. Talk about your upbringing in those early years, those formative years, and how it's led to where you are today and your success in business.
So for me, I grew up on the west side of town, and I grew up running track as a kid. I started running track when I was 5 years old, and I was very, very good from age 5 years old to 6th grade. Then long jumping, I blew out my knee, and I lost some speed, and ran track at Ben Davis High School, but I got faster after I graduated from high school and started Butler University. So participating in sports obviously helped shape me from a competition standpoint. Business is about competition, so that is kind of what drives me. So that from a youth standpoint, participated in athletics. I was also a debater. Participated on the Ben Davis debate team, did well in the state tournament. Those formative extracurricular activities kind of helped develop me into what I do today.
Did you have an aha moment when you decided, or you thought, hey, I want to be a TV station owner, not just be in the business, but really own stations?
Yeah, that aha moment was when I worked at Channel 4, I was an account executive, and a new owner purchased us. His name is Barry Baker. He was 38 years old, and he came to a sales meeting and said, hey, I'd like to hire salespeople or athletes that want to make a lot of jack. And when I heard an owner say that, I said to myself, wait a minute, he sounds like me. I want to be like that guy. And he was a young guy. So from that point on, I was 22 years old when that happened. So I was very indelible at the time. From that point on, I start putting my mind and wheels in motion to potentially own TV stations one day. And in 2007, I bought my first group.
All right, and you're back home now in Indiana and Indianapolis. DuJuan McCoy, thanks very much. Appreciate the time.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Also, just this week, McCoy and Circle City Broadcasting announced the launch of All Access Indy. It's a sports franchise highlighting the Hoosier perspective on big sporting events. News 8 sports director Anthony Calhoun to anchor the program that will have expanded coverage of the men's NCAA basketball tournament, NFL draft, Indy 500, Colts, Pacers, college, high school sports, and a lot more.